Okay, we should be good.
Awesome. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm just going to kind of walk through the first off is the daily behaviors that I have found that's worked for me. And this is aside from the business activity tracker. So please, please, please always do your business activity tracker. We all know that. So I'm not going to go over any of the vital behaviors on the BAT, but this is going to be plus the business activity tracker. So I want you guys to start implementing these if you haven't already, and they're very simple behaviors. But that's when I saw a huge change in my business because I was just kind of following the business activity tracker to a T. The second I was still working full time, the second that I was done with that, I put it away and I moved on. And obviously, if you've been following my journey as a coach, you've seen my business really take off the past like 6 months, I'd say. And it's because of these behaviors. Because when I went full-time as a Beachbody coach, and I'm not saying you need to be a full-time coach at all, this doesn't take any more time. That's just when I kind of realized that I needed to add a little bit of like more than just the business activity tracker, just to be me and be present on social media more rather than just sending off my invites in the background and not really showing up as much. So these are just going to go into all the behaviors that I've followed since going full time and really seeing my business take off majorly. So you don't need to write all of this down. It's fairly simple, but I'm just going to go into it. So if you want to right away, like write key takeaways or things like that, I would really suggest it. So the first one is plan and get organized. This is super important. I am a serious like level 1 OCD freak when it comes to my house and just spaces. But I've realized since becoming a coach, I was not organizing my business. I was not making sure everything was perfectly planned and perfectly organized so that I could really take off as a coach. I was just kind of working my way through it and just doing what I thought was going to make me successful. I was copying other coaches. I saw they were hosting a coach sneak peek. I would just be like, okay, I'm going to host a coach sneak peek. I just was going through the motions and I wasn't planning or really getting organized with my business. So you need to treat this like your business. We hear that all the time, but it's 100% true. When I started actually treating this like my business, that's when I saw, holy crap, I have nothing planned for this week. I don't know what I'm posting. I don't know what I'm going to talk about this week. I don't know what to make my post. I had no idea what to do. And it's when my fiance was like, I feel like we need to get you like a better laptop. I feel like we need to get you a planner and we should go print you off this business activity tracker that you always talk about. And he started bringing things up to me and I was like, oh my gosh, like I just have everything right here from my phone. That's the only business thing I had for over a year. And when I started actually creating Google Docs or like Google folders on my Google Drive, and I would label it Beachbody tax forms, like seriously getting really organized, that's when I saw everything kind of falling into place because I wasn't just going through the motions, I was actually planning things out. So these are a couple just little things that I do to plan with my business. And when I'm talking about these things, this is what I mean. They're simple things. It's not going to take you a lot of time. So every Sunday, I personally do it on Sunday. You could do it on Monday if you wanted, whenever works for you. Every Sunday night, I plan out my week. So I plan out my post, I plan out my stories, I plan out my challenge groups, things like that. And when I say I plan out my post, you can use an app. I personally don't because I get too scatterbrained when I'm trying to make everything look perfect. I've used the app Plan and I did like it, but I got too overwhelmed with trying to plan everything. So I stick to picking the pictures I'm going to use during that day. If I'm going to take my own that day, I will literally write it in my notes, take a picture before your workout. That's what I'm saying. It's super simple. So I will edit in Lightroom or use whatever app you have to edit those pictures, and I just save them as drafts in my Instagram. And if I have some things come to my mind and I'm going to post this picture with this caption, I'll go ahead and write that in. But normally I just save those pictures, and then that day of, I'll go in, have that picture saved, and I'll plan out my caption and then post it that day. But just on those Sunday nights is when I pick those pictures I'm going to plan for the week, just so I can kind of see, make sure I'm not forgetting to post, because a lot of us go crazy on stories. This is me. I go crazy on stories and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 5 o'clock. Still haven't posted anything on my feed yet today. So that's really helpful. For my stories, no, I do not plan every story and what I'm going to talk about. If you guys follow me on Instagram, that would be ridiculous. I go in and I talk about, if I'm going to talk about coaching more than becoming a challenger, or vice versa. I really talk about, I saw Kirsten do that FAQ. I was like, wow, I haven't done one of those in a while. So I planned that. And just the smallest little things. And I just make a little list. It does not have to be fancy. And it's just things to kind of get off your head. So during the week, you can just look at that list and say, got it. Okay, great. I'll do an FAQ today. And that will really help because I don't know about you guys, but if you get caught up midweek, it's Wednesday, say, and you're like, oh my God, I just don't even know where I'm at with my business. This is really going to help you, because you can look back at that list and be like, oh, I haven't done my FAQ yet. I can do that today. So you're not sitting there and thinking about, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about today? That is the worst feeling, and we all have it. So believe me when I say the smallest things are going to help. So then my challenge groups, this is what I personally do every month. So at the end of each month, on the 30th or 31st, I will go in and plan out whatever challenge groups I'm hosting. So right now I have my normal challenge group that I'm always hosting, just 24/7. And then I have a weight loss push group going on. And then I have my Transform 20 group going on. So I have so many groups going on. And instead of, when I wake up in the morning, I try to get my workout in, I try to do my personal development right away. And I would get overwhelmed because I would forget to post in my challenge groups. And then it would be 3 o'clock in the evening and I'd see someone post a picture and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't even checked in with any of my challengers. So what I found worked for me the best was focusing on me in the morning. And the way to do that was being able to, at the end of the month, schedule out my post in my challenge group. And it takes time, you guys, and it does kind of suck. I'm not going to lie, but it is worth it. And I will never take that back. It is worth it so much, because you're able to go in. Say if you want to post your workout after your workout, you can gladly do that. I do that too, just on top of my normal post. But if I'm focusing on maybe self-love, I will Google or Pinterest self-love quotes or self-love, just little things to help you, like, what did you do for self-care today? The smallest little things. And I go into my challenge group and I schedule out all of these posts in advance at the end of the month, so I'm not worrying about it at all. And it is so helpful. So I really highly suggest doing that. Like I said, it does really take time, but it's every bit worth it. For the month, I also will go in and kind of just set my goals for the month, because like I said, planning and getting organized is part of our business. We need to have our goals clearly stated out the beginning of the month. So Success Club 10, say you're aiming for Success Club 10. Say you want to rank advance this month. Say you want to personally help 3 of your coaches rank advance. Just set those goals out. They literally don't have to be all in a pretty picture that you don't have, like, you don't have to share it. I take my notebook and I write it in the sloppiest handwriting. I plan my goals and I'm moving on. It does not have to be pretty. You do not need to make this business look and feel pretty. You guys, I have 2 notebooks. I have one for coaching, one for challengers, and I just write everything in there. And I have this amazing binder, my business activity tracker. I have 52 sheets printed out and I go through it every single day. It was like $8 total to do all of that. So just getting organized is everything. The last thing I want to talk about with getting organized and planning is your financials, which sucks. This sucks when I started doing this, but luckily I have an amazing fiance who does this for me, so I'm very lucky. But he goes in on every Sunday when I'm planning out my weeks, And he goes in to my paycheck in my coach office and on his, and he takes my commission, my matching bonus, my team cycle, my whatever bonus fast start I have, and he puts it into a spreadsheet for me so I can see that compared to my months before or last year, whenever. So I'm able to see it. It's all in one place. So I don't have to like scroll back and go back to page 10 to see what I made this year. Like, you know what I mean? So he has it all in one spreadsheet for me. And when he started doing this for me, my business really took off because I was able to see, holy crap, I made so much money in commission this week and it dropped $200 last week or something like that. And I was able to see it and be like, wow, I got to get my shit in check. I got to start either selling some 3-day refresh to get that up or hit it hard with invites. Just the smallest things I was able to see, and that helped immensely. So I really suggest doing that. It's not fun, but it takes 5 minutes once you get caught up if you haven't been doing this, just to do that every Sunday night. Just go back to that following Thursday and go through it. Okay, so that's kind of it for planning and getting organized. So number 2 is consistency. My favorite word in this business. We hear it all the time because it's the biggest behavior in my opinion. We need to send our invites every day. We know that. We need to show up every single day on social media. We know that. We know these things, but sometimes we don't do them. And it sucks admitting that because that, as a new coach, I would post my workouts and I'd be like, I showed up, checked out, and I would be done. I wasn't getting any questions about what I did. They were like, why is this girl posting her workouts? They don't know what you do if you don't talk about it. They have no idea what you're doing. Maybe you're just someone that is just posting your workouts. They're not going to reach out to you if you don't seem intriguing and you don't seem like you're kind of offering them something. Talk on your stories. Show up. Show your face on your stories. Show cute graphics if you want. But for me, when I just started going ham on my stories, that's when people were like, what are you doing? Oh, cool. Sweet, I want to join you. And they'd really get interested because I started talking. And when I started posting kind of like what I do is motivational on my feed, and I like invite to my challenge groups, and I kind of go every other to that. And I tell my story on those, just little parts of my story. It goes a long ways. And those are my most liked, I guess. I think they're taking away likes. I haven't updated my Instagram. I'm scared. But my most liked post and my most engaged post are my story. It's because people resonate with you. They want to hear what you have to offer. They want to kind of just feel someone else and see if this is right for them. They want to make sure that they're making the right choice. So you need to do more than show up. You need to talk about what you do. If you believe in what you do, you can talk about what you do. You need to make it natural. And this, I heard this on a team training. I think it was just a random YouTube one. And it has always hit home with me because make it natural. It sounds so stupid. Like, obviously I'm going to talk like a natural person. No, that's not what it means. It means that if you're on your story and you're just pretending to kind of get through that story, it's not going to make sense to people. If you can't say it to a human sitting right next to you, you shouldn't say it on your story and you shouldn't say it on your feed because it doesn't make sense to them. You need to explain, and be predictable. You need to just make everything you say natural. You need to talk like they are right in front of you, because when you do that, they're going to really just kind of like want to join you. They're just going to be like, you know what? That girl's like me. She is like me and her story is like me. And she's talking to me like I'm right here. And they're going to love that. Okay. And I promise you that, because if you're yourself and if you post a video of you like slipping over your step or something, they're going to laugh at it and they're going to be like, oh my God, that's what I would do. You don't have to show up and be perfect. I like all the time, I'll post just little slips of me either botching my words like I always do on my stories, or Anne sneezing in the background, or Stella rolling in mud. Something random like that is when people like go crazy with laughing at my posts and reacting to my stories. Just the smallest things. And then I'm able to form a connection with them. So just be yourself. Don't pretend to be someone else. You need to repeat information like it's your job because it is. You need to be so predictable. It's unreal because like we've all heard, I think it's like 7 times. You hear something 7 times before sticking with you. I don't know. I could be way wrong on that. But people might watch your story every day. Maybe they don't have the sound on. Maybe they don't, like we all make little captions on our story just so if they don't have the sound on, they can kind of see what we're talking about. Maybe they still don't get what you're talking about. So just repeat yourself, because the more you repeat, the more people you're going to reach. If one single person starts watching your story today and you repeated what you said yesterday, maybe they'll join you. You have no idea. So just repeat info and be predictable. And I promise you it will work. And then lastly, you need to be yourself. You have to be yourself, you guys. I used to pretend to everything Kirsten used to post when I signed up as a coach. I just copied her. I was like, oh, she's talking about this. I'm going to do this too. Because I didn't know what to talk about. I was so nervous. But when I stepped outside of my comfort zone and I said, you know what? I love Beachbody and here's how it changed my life. And I talked on my story and on my feed, like I was just being myself. So many people wanted to join me. So many. And it's still that way. When I am just being unique, when I'm being me, so many people want to join you and you're going to attract people like you. And we all know that because it's true. All of my coaches are my best friends because they have been with me from the start. We have formed connections and I'm not treating them like just my business partners. They're not. They're my friends too. And all of us are friends. We all are all over each other's social media for a reason because we are just us. We're us, you guys. We're so unique. And I just get so excited talking about this because that's when I was able to see and really feel that people were coming on my team because they were like me. So be yourself. Okay. So like I said, this is not on top of the business activity tracker. So you need to be doing that every single day with these. Like I said, these are simple behaviors. You do not need to spend hours on these. They take a couple minutes. And I really suggest you guys do this. But just show of hands, how many of you guys follow your business activity tracker every single day? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to show you guys mine quick. So I printed this off. I printed one extra, so I just have it as my cute little cover. I got this binder from Staples for like $4, and I printed all of my 52 sheets of my business activity tracker so I could follow it every single day. And it has been a game changer. I did that just a couple weeks ago because I ran out of my what's it called, paper here at my house, so I had to go get it printed off, which sucks, but oh well, it's still cheap, you guys, like black and white. It's nothing fancy. I have it all black and white, and I do that every single day, and you guys need to be doing it every single day. Yes, I always forget. Sorry, I keep looking over and think it's Brittany. I think it's not, it's Morgan. Okay, so that is kind of it for the first little section of this call. Do you guys have any questions going over that part specifically before we get into the little workshop I have? Feel free to just unmute yourself or comment. Nothing? So right now I don't schedule. I don't have kids. I don't have really anywhere to be. I do this full time. So I personally don't really schedule when I work, but I make sure if like on weekends, I make sure I get up relatively early. I like to sleep in on weekends, but say I'm awake by 7:30, I can still have 30 minutes in the morning right when I'm still in bed just to send out invites, because that is the most vital thing for me. I send out like around 30 invites a day because that's when I've seen huge things with my business. So I'm never going to stop it. And so I'm like mad millionaire here in Beachbody. But once I have kids, that's going to be a huge change for me because I do work whenever I want right now. But I do make sure that I set a timer on my phone. I know there's apps and things like that, but I have to set a timer on my phone, or I get distracted, or I want to go outside and take my dog on a walk. Just the smallest things like that. I'll be like, oh my God, because it is hard working from home and doing this when you don't have a lot of work. So I set timers and I follow the business activity tracker to a T. When it says 20 minutes invites, I'm doing 20 minutes invites. And so if you kind of get scatterbrained like me, set timers. Or most of you guys have full-time jobs, set times when you're gonna work. Or like you mamas, like you need to schedule times when you're gonna work. Do we send invites? Oh yes, I send invites to people until they block me. You guys, every single training in Beachbody, they are like, you're not stopping your invite to them until they say, don't ever message me again. I have found most of my clients, most of my challengers and coaches have signed up at least after 3 to 4 invites. And if they say, no, not at this time, like we most get, I go back the next month and I invite them to my new challenge group. So, and I'll get kind of into that, but yeah, feel free to ask those questions now or later when you start inviting. So I'll get into what I kind of look for in an invite in my little workshop I'm going to do next, but so that will just be in a second. Okay, so I'm inviting people who like my post, people who watch my story, people who follow me, every single person who follows me, unless they're a coach. And most of the time, if they're a coach, I'll just be like, hi, I see you're a Beachbody coach. I'm so excited that you followed me. Just to form a connection, because you don't, like, maybe you don't know them. Maybe they're not on your downline. Like, that's really awesome that they followed you. So thank them. But I really suggest every person who watches your story, you guys invite them. They're watching you for a reason. Every person who follows you, they're following you for a reason. This is your business account. If they know and see what you're doing, they push that follow button. They'll unfollow you if they don't want to watch you or join you. But if they're following you, they get an invite. And that's what I live by. Yes, track people. Yes. For sure. Oh yeah, if they don't ever respond to me, they don't get another invite. If they see it and don't respond, I don't invite them again. But if they respond to me and just say not at this time or not right now, things like that, or maybe in the future, I'll either ask first, I'll say, oh my gosh, thanks so much for giving me a response, or like something like that. And then I'll go into like, is there a better time for you to join? I'd love to have you next month or whatever. And if they give me a date, I write it right in my planner, follow up with, and I put their username because you're gonna forget by then. But yeah, definitely track. And that's why you need to track with that second sheet of the business activity tracker, because if they don't respond, they're not interested. Like they don't want to hear what you're saying. But if they show you that they're interested, then you need to write their name down. To continue to invite us in person. Yeah, some people, like, they'll always be commenting on my post and they'll be like, oh, you're amazing. Oh my gosh, inspiring, like little things like that. But then they never respond, or they vote on my polls and they still never respond. I have this one person, I'm not even kidding. Every single poll I have, she's like, yes, sign me up. Yes. Every single poll, she's never responded to anything, but I still continue to invite her because she voted on my poll. So I'll say, thanks so much for voting on my poll. Is it your time to join? Like, I haven't given up on you. I started using that since the call last week. I love that. But that's what I kind of just do, because if they're voting on your poll, like, they're voting on your poll for a reason. But if they're not responding to you, and that's just kind of like I call them like warmish, cold, lukewarm invites if they just follow you and you send them one, and they don't respond, then I kind of take it back a notch. Okay, did I get them all? I think. Okay, so for the inviting workshop, I'm gonna keep you guys all on here if that's okay, because I think this is helpful for everybody. And if more diamonds pop on, then they can jump in with us. But okay, so if you have your pen and paper, I want you to just kind of keep these things in mind that I'm just gonna go over quickly, so you guys kind of know how I go about inviting. And there's no right or wrong invite. Like, we all know that there's no right or wrong invite. It has to just be what you would naturally say. So the first thing is you got to be natural. You have to be you. You have to kind of just talk to a person like they're in front of you. Like I said before, just like your story. If you wouldn't go up to somebody in person, and if they said, what do you do? Like, what's your side hustle? Or what do you do for a living? If you wouldn't invite them in person, don't invite them like that through a message. That's weird. Like if I got a message, I hate the hey girl, and I used to do it, so I'm taking one for the team too. But would you go up to somebody and be like, hey girl? Like you would not say that to somebody. And maybe like one of your friends being like, hey girl, hey, like something like that, but that's not the same. I would never go up to someone that I saw 4 years ago and be like, hey girl, saw you about it on my phone. Like, no, I would not say that. I would say their name because they probably wouldn't know who I am. So use their name. If you don't know their name, or if it's not in their Instagram, I'll say, hey love, or hey beautiful, something like that. Because first off, they don't have their name in there. So how are you supposed to know? I'm not going to say, hey, at username. So you have to be natural. Amanda, stop. She's just dying out laughing at me. Okay. So right now, I want you to just write down a quick little invite to either a coach or a challenger that you would say to a person that is here with you, that is in person with you. Just a quick little short invite that you would say to someone in person. Yes, Kirsten, voice notes. I've been doing those so much and they really help. Okay, does everyone got one? You guys are too much. Yes, that's good. I like that, Morgan. Okay, does anyone want to share their quick little invite? You don't have to, but if anyone wants to share, you can just unmute yourself, or you can just share in the comments too. That's totally fine.
I said, please coach with me. It changed my world and would be a million times more fun if you were doing it with me.
Ooh, that's good. I like that. I like that because it just shows that like you didn't just go to their profile and just say, hey, do you want to hear about what I do? I'm a Beachbody coach. It's not like super to the point. It's like, hey, oh my gosh, join me now. That would be awesome. I like that. Yes, Kirsten, I love that. Yes, keep sharing them in there because then other people can kind of get ideas. But one thing to remember is if you guys copy and paste other people's invite that maybe they've accidentally sent you or you see from another coach, just like these in the chat, if you copy and paste them into your notes, remember to personalize them like they sound like yourself, because that's super important. Don't just copy and paste them and just like use it, because I used to do that as a new coach. I'm like, oh, Kirsten's top dog here. I'm just going to use this. But no, like make it yourself, because they know that's not going to sound like you if they're watching your stories also. Yes, Morgan, I like that. Super good. Yes, keep sharing those. Those are really good. Okay, so now we have another little, you guys might not like this one so much, but this helped me a lot. So I want you to write down 3 words, and 3 words only, that you could not leave out of your invite, that you absolutely need in your invite. 3 words. So my words are accountability, support, and confidence. Those are my words. So just write down your 3 words. And once you have those, you can take a minute to think. I'm just going to tell you what to do next. These are going to be your primary focus during your invite. When I kind of changed my invite to being focused around one thing, it has changed my invite, because I'm able to have a focus, not just like, hey, Annie, like blah, 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 blah. It's like word vomit most of the time. All the invites I've gotten on accident, it's like just nonsense. It's going from challenge group to change my life to everything. It's hitting every point, coaching, challenger, everything. It's hitting everything. It's too much. You need to keep it short, simple, to the point. And so when I heard 3 words, they should be primarily focused around 3 words, it helped so much. Kind of cut it short, right to the point, and it's going to be a good invite. Yes, I like these guys. You can share them here too if you don't want, or if you want to. So since those are going to be our primary focus during our invite, I want you to write another invite. You can go off of what you've already had and maybe underline it if you already have it in those that invite. But I want you to make an invite with these 3 words being the primary focus. And if you already shared your invite and now those were the primary focus, then you're 1 step ahead. And then if anyone wants to share it out loud, I would love to hear some too. But I'll give you a couple minutes just to work on that. When I was writing this, kind of like my notes for this call, this is the invite I came up with after I wrote down my 3 words. This obviously is going to vary with who you invite and how you invite them. So if you invite through your stories, either if they liked your post or if they followed you, that part's going to change. But what I had is, so accountability, support, and confidence. Hey, Annie, thanks so much for the love on my last post. Your support truly means the world. Have you ever been curious about any of the challenge groups that I talk about? They are full of accountability to help us reach our goals and that we are working towards. My team of ladies is so supportive and they truly just fire me up. Obviously, I have so many caps and emojis in these. I would just love to help you take control of your confidence and shine with us. Can I send you over more info? Like super short, super right to the point. It covered that I have a group, like challenge groups coming up. It talked about, yes, for sure be saving all these guys. It talked about how I have confidence now because I said, show off your confidence, like let it shine. Obviously you wouldn't say that if you didn't have it. Like, you know what I mean? Just those little key points someone's gonna read and be like, oh wow, like I like that. So just keep them short, to the point, and more to the point, the better. Anyone else wanna share theirs? Oh yes, we'll save the chat. I see a lot of consistency, accountability. Anyone else want to share their invite out loud? Ooh, energy. I like that. Happiness. Those are all really good, you guys. Okay, so then if you guys do want to share it, just say, Annie, stop talking so you can share it. Number 4 is believe in what you do. Raise your hand if you guys believe in Shakeology. Raise your hand if you believe in the performance line. Raise your hand if you believe in the programs. And raise your hand if you believe in yourself. All your hands better be up because you guys have to believe in yourself. It's so freaking important. It's so important because if you believe in yourself, you are going to succeed so much faster because all of these invites, even though coming up with invites is so annoying and so it's just kind of just like, I don't want to do that. But it's so important, and it should just flow right off your tongue, because you guys, if you believe in this, it should just fire you up. It should just fire that light in your soul, and you should just be bouncing from the walls and shouting from the rooftops because you believe in all of these products. You believe in yourself. You believe in all of this. So tell everybody. Yes, it is a sale. At the end of the day, it is a sale, and we're all afraid of that for some reason. Don't be afraid of that, you guys. Rock the freaking sale. You are giving them this amazing opportunity. Think about how you needed this. Think about that. Think about how much you needed this, and you are offering this to somebody else. That is so amazing, and they should be honored that you thought of them. And yes, people get annoyed with invites. Who cares? I get It Works invites literally every day, and I respond every single time. Check out my profile. Like, if you are inviting correctly and you see they're not a coach or they're not wellness, like, you can see that in someone's profile. Once in a while, you come across someone that has no stories on, no post about it, and they are a coach. Congrats, it's fine. You made a mistake, move on. It's okay, you guys. Just believe in yourself enough to give yourself credit. Get out there and invite. Get out there and be genuine. Get out there and sell. Okay? Just sell. I know we all hate that word, but I don't even care. You're giving them this opportunity, and you should be so excited for them. You should be so excited to get them in your challenge group. You should be so excited to sign them up, because you guys, we all are on here for a reason. This lights a fire in our soul. We are on here for a reason, and this could be them. This could be them. Okay? So if you believe in what you do, then you need to sell the challenge packs. You need to sell all of our products because they're amazing. And all of us had our hands raised. So keep it up, okay? Keep it up. So that was my little tiny workshop. I should have called it something else. But I just wanted you guys to have invite examples on here, because we have all of these good ones in the chat. And then the ones that you guys came up with, you need to. Yes, Jen, yes. Like, it's so important just to sell. That's our job. And who cares? Who cares if you say the word sell? You're changing their life. You're helping them. You're helping them get started. Who even cares if the word sell is out there? My goodness. Okay, so lastly, I wanted to, does anyone have any questions about any of that part first? You can comment or unmute yourself. Yes, exactly. Lifestyle and experience. Yes.
So something that I like to do, actually, that's been working really well for me lately is I know that sometimes people find like info packages. I send an email info package to people when I give them more information, and sometimes it's a lot of information. So what I do is I kind of send out an invite that just sounds like, hey, thanks so much for following my stories. I appreciate the support. If you ever want to join one of my wellness challenges, I would love to have you. Is it something you ever thought about? I'd be happy to send you more information if it's something you'd be interested in. And then if they say yes, I send them a voice note just kind of letting them know that the info pack is a little bit lengthy, because it's quite a large email, really. So I let them know that it's a little bit lengthy, but I care about them having all the information and being well informed so that they can make the right decision for them, and let them know that, like, I just want them to know all the details so that they can make a good decision for them. And when you kind of like use that as a voice note and come across that way, they take it more like, oh, she actually cares about, like, giving me all the information, making sure I make a decision that's right for me, not just making a sale.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that. And I'm going to kind of go over into how I like break my like script down too. But yeah, I find that if you like, the more voice notes and like little videos that you do on Instagram, the better, because you guys, people love that. People love, like, even if it's a follow-up, I'll do a voice memo follow-up all the time. Like, I do those all the time. And I get more responses that way. Like, it's just a better way to connect with people. Okay. Does anyone else have questions?
Annie, I'm going to say something. Thank you. I have noticed, so just this month, I set like a goal of hitting SC6 by the 6th, and I did it. And it was because I basically sent out the whole invite, like, hey, thank you for watching my stories. To be honest, Marie's call last week really, really helped. I totally modified my invites. And then on Wednesday and Thursday following that call, collectively, I sent out 300 invites just like in the 2 days. And it's been insane ever since. I've just been like following up with those people since. It's been crazy. And I was like, I was fired up. But what I've noticed is that it is a lot of information. I used to get daunted by the fact that people would say, of course I want more information. And I'd freak out and I would sit on that message and I'd be like, what do I say? What do I say? Even though I knew what to say, I've known what to say. So now Olivia has actually told me to do this and it works. I straight up asked exactly what she said. Like, what sparked your interest? What do you need help with most? Nutrition, fitness, the mindset, the community, all that. And then when they almost always say, oh, they're like, LOL, all of the above. Like, oh my gosh, help me. And then I just say, listen, here's what I'm going to do. Based on what you're telling me, maybe I talk back and forth, maybe we do video chats or voice notes. I say, listen, based on what you're saying, I'm going to send you kind of like, I'm going to go shopping on Amazon for you almost and send you this cart. And you'll notice that it'll have XYZ. Like, I'll tell them what's in it. Once you get that email, let me know and we'll go through it together. And literally, it's just worked. They'll say like, oh my gosh, I totally need this pre-workout. Thank you. And whatever it is, like, because you listen to them. So that's just been working for me this week. Like, that's literally what's working for me this week. I think I'm going to run with it until it doesn't work anymore. But it just skips that whole verbose step where I think people are like, ugh. It's like, sometimes I feel like when I read those messages over that I used to send to people, I felt like they were like the terms and conditions of Beachbody. Who likes reading that stuff? Like, no one, So that's it. That's what I had to say.
No, that's amazing. That's literally everything I have on my notes. Like, I'm not even kidding. Everything. Because it's when I watched the National Wake Up Call with Kim Fitzpatrick. Yeah, Fitzpatrick. I always want to say Fitzgerald. That's my cousin's last name. Okay. So Kim Fitzpatrick, go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's literally that. Ask more questions. So after the invite, what do? You ask questions back if they respond. You need to ask questions back. Talk about nutrition struggles, snacking, morning routine, selling the beach bars with snacking. Like, you can sell in so many things. Build value. You have to build value, because if they're giving you these answers before you even say anything about your products, then you're going to say, okay, so for snacking, my go-to is these beach bars that I added into your cart. Like, you can go back to everything they said and show them why it's in their cart, and they're going to be like, oh damn, I need to get all of this. And that's how I've been upselling my challenge packs, because it's so much easier. It is truly easier when you ask questions and kind of use their words against them. Like, that sounds bad, but it's true. They need this stuff. If they're saying, I can't get a grip on my snacking, I can't work out because I have no energy. Duh, you guys, energize, beach bars, Shakeology. It's so easy. So ask more questions. And then just about like the script, you need to break it down. You need to break it down for them. If you are sending it through an email, that's a great idea that Reagan said, sending a voice note and being like, it's so lengthy, like, heads up, it's all the info, like, just a little, that's such a good idea. And what I'll do is I'll just be like, okay, so I'm just going to send over all the information. You can give me your thoughts, and I'll kind of like ask you a couple questions just to, like, I'll literally break it down just like that. I'll ask you a couple questions. I say those words, you guys, because you're treating this like you're actually giving them something amazing, because you are. So once you send that email, message them right away if you're doing it through an email, and say, let me know once you read through it. Like, don't worry, I'll talk you through it if you have any questions whatsoever. And build that value up with those questions after, okay? So if you do that email way, do it that way. But if you just are gonna break it down through messaging, which that personally works better for me, that's where I ask the questions. And when I'm responding to their questions, so say, how is your snacking, ? Nutrition, ? Whatever your question is, If they respond, my nutrition is absolutely terrible, I can't get a grip on my emotional stress eating. You guys, 2B Mindset, Beach Bars, Shakeology, you know how many products you can name right there? So you're going to kind of give them a little breakdown about what you have and be like, oh my gosh, same. Like my Shakeology seriously has killed my cravings. Like you guys, it's awesome. Like you have so many things that you can talk about. You just need to talk about them. You can't just kind of just say this one-time stop shop challenge pack. No, you guys, there's so much more to offer. So you sell it, sell what else there is. Like you have to sell it. So I always say what's worked for me is like personalize. Like I literally say, I'm going to help personalize your challenge pack. And people love it. They're like, oh my gosh. So, and I'll send them graphics from what we've already seen. And if they love the normal Beachbody Shakeology challenge pack, but they're like, what were those beach bars you were talking about? Then I can say, okay, yeah. And girl, by the way, you can sign up with that 25% off discount if you want to continue those beach bars. You can seriously add value so many places. And you need to, like, I hope you guys are writing this down or going to watch a recording, because every product that you can name that we have, you can build into snacking, nutrition, morning routine, and fitness, like obviously. But like when you talk about their fitness experience, if they're like, I'm a beginner, be like, oh my gosh, when I signed up, like it was a disaster. So I use blah and explain everything. Like you guys, it's so simple. You just have to do it. Don't feel bad. If they are wanting these products, they will buy them. If they don't want them, they will not buy them. So stop getting it through your head that you can't sell people these items or upsell their challenge packs. Okay, if they have money to purchase it, they will purchase it. If they don't have money, they'll say, you know what, I'm just gonna go with the base pack. Thank you, maybe in the future, maybe I'll use that 25% off discount, thanks. It's so easy. Like you just have to do it. You just have to talk to them, form that bond with them. Okay, and always send it through ShareCart. I don't have luck sending links for the past like 6 months. I just don't have luck. If it's one of my maybe family members or friends from high school, things like that, and they only want this and they say, I've been watching forever, I only want that. Even if I try to talk to them, I'll send a link over if it's just something like maybe 3-day refresh or just the challenge pack with Shakeology or like Beachbody and Shakeology, something like that. But if I'm adding more than one thing into that cart, and most of the time just one thing, I still use ShareCart. Okay, it's so important. Yes. It's the more you talk about these products, the better, you guys.
Do you know that you can send in? Hi everyone. Do you know that you can send the trial in ShareCart?
Yes.
I don't know if everyone knows that, but you can go into Beachbody On Demand and get the base one, and when you send it to people, it's the actual trial. So you could send that with the 3 links of the other workouts, if you know. So I just have to tell you, so I've been at my new job for a year, and I haven't had anyone start with me at my new job because I've been kind of like scared about how to get that going, and I didn't want, you know, like at my last job, I started while I was there, so everyone did it with me, but this was new and kind of scary. However, I show up at these last 2 weeks of training with my posts with my Recover, which looks kind of pink, right? Because it's mixed with whatever's left of my Fruit Punch Energize. And I've never had so many people ask me what's in it because it's like pink and orange versus the yellow drink. And I have my shake, and I have water, and I have coffee, and I have my beach bars, and I have my food. And they're just like, think I'm psycho, but they're asking me so many questions, right? And it's amazing how many like questions they continue to ask me these last 2 weeks. So I just had my first challenger sign up like from work yesterday. And it's just crazy because like I've always been like insecure about sharing it with this new group. And the minute I changed all of that with these 2 weeks, it's just been totally different. And like I'm talking to the hotel lady. And so it's the same thing, I think, when you apply it if you're not around people. So you're going to show them. So I just wanted to build on what AMQ said. I gave my coworker my login to On Demand because honestly, I didn't have time to give her anything. I said, just go in there and look at it. I have all the nutrition programs. I even have Ultimate Reset in there. Just click the nutrition tab and look at it. And you could change your password as soon as someone's in and out of there. But that's all I did. I gave that to her. But if you didn't want to do that, you could Zoom and do that. And then you could actually build the share cart with them on Zoom with you. And I think that is golden AMQ, like with how you do that. And like, so I think you could take it a step further with the Zoom, because, and then save your time if you don't have, like, I have no time. That's been my biggest struggle. I know it sounds like an excuse, but since my new job, I just haven't had as much time to work it. But yeah, so I just wanted to share like how it applies to the same thing. But yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
But yeah, if you got to go to share a cart for sure.
Yeah, for sure. ShareCart's awesome. And yeah, there are so many trainings over ShareCart, like on YouTube, that will take you exactly like through it. That will be so helpful. So I would check those out. But that's all I have for you guys tonight. So I wanted to end with any questions you guys have at all. So bring them on if you guys have any.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course.
I'm gonna hop off. Have a good night, guys.
Anyone else? You guys are so sweet. Okay, well, anything else to add? Morgan, Kirsten, Jen, anything?
I think you've got it figured out, girlfriend. You're rank advancing, you're hitting Success Club, your volume's up there. I think we all should be listening to you. You know what you're doing. Honestly, this stuff sounds so basic, but it's the basic behaviors people don't want to do. You know, it's the basic stuff that gets people uncomfortable. And today in my downline, I asked people to do a gut check saying, are your business behaviors matching your business goals? Because like if you have a 6-figure goal, you better have 6-figure like behaviors and 6-figure, you know, actions to match it, right? Because you have to make sure that that's in line or else you'll be disappointed. So yeah, you're doing awesome. Thank you for that so much.
You guys are welcome. Thank you for all coming on here. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, we'll end the call so you guys can get on with your Tuesday night. Probably have huge plans tonight, Tuesday. Just kidding. All righty. Enjoy your night, you guys. Oh, wait, we got to take a boomerang, right? My phone's blowing up with you guys tagging me. Thank you. Okay. Ready? Okay, go. Did everyone get it? Okay. See you guys. Thank you.